The sun is when you feel vital and alive and shining forth. And it's like got these sunflowers here. It's just about being radiant, being full of life, being, shining like the sun. When it's in the reverse position, it does show that there's like a dampening effect, or the sun is sort of like behind some clouds. It's still there. It's still illuminating everything. It's still full of fire and life. But in the reverse position, it's saying that you might be feeling not your normal, radiant, sort of fiery self, Aries. You might be feeling like it's a sort of overcast. I'm kind of getting like an overcast day at the beginning of November, and I think it's related to not being able to get clear on what your dreams and what your visions are, because it is right next to this Three of Wands card, which is the visionary. So Three of Wands is about dreaming. It's about dreaming what you want to create. 3 is an inherently creative number, so it's sort of like looking out on this barren field and saying, what do I want to create? What kind of life do I want for myself? What do I want my empire to look like? What are my dreams, my visions, my goals? All of that. That's what Three of Wands is about. So with this in the reverse position, it's telling me you might have you might be having some inability to access what are my dreams? What are my visions? What are my passions for the future, or where I want to go, or what I want to build? And I think it's kind of bumming you out, Aries. Like it's saying, I don't feel like my normal fiery self because I'm having a hard time getting clear on where I want to go and what I want to do. And it's making you feel like it's not your normal, full, vibrant, fiery, passionate, radiant self, Aries. So I'm going to say if you spend some time with Three of Wands energy, you might want to look that up. Get clear on your dreams, or just allow yourself to play with visions and play with dreams and play with, different thoughts of what you might want to create. That'll help get you out of any funk if there is any clouds, rolling over your sunny self. And I'm also getting, for some of you, it might be affecting a relationship that you're in. So just get clear on that. What's funny is that Three of Wands is looking towards this large sum of money, and 10 of Coins is an accumulation of money from good decisions having been made over time. This card can often represent inheritance, or it can just be money that you've saved and tucked away. It represents security, and it's usually like coming down from the elders. And you can see it's the most amount of coins that can appear on the card. So it means security, it means building your empire. You see the happy couple, behind the castle walls. They're safe, they're secure, they're financially secure. It's almost like a funny little story here of that. This is how you're feeling right now, a little dampened within the relationship or in yourself, and you're dreaming of being in a place of being financially secure, financially set, this happy couple here in the background in their castle, but you're just not sure what those dreams, goals, visions are to get there. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you, Aries, is that you might want to focus on what your dreams, your visions are, because that being out of whack is causing you to be out of whack. And there's a lot of money waiting for you at the beginning of November. I mean, 10 of Coins plus Ace of Coins, it's like the most amount of coins you can get on a card. And by the way, here's another one. So this means receiving new money. This is Ace of Coins. So aces are always a new beginning, and coins represent the physical element. So they represent money, lifestyle. This could be a new job, new passion that brings money in. And you can see it opens the gate for this new garden, kind of like what maybe Three of Wands has been dreaming of or thinking of creating. And it's like this new life. You get to walk through this gate. So when this Ace of Coins energy comes, be in a receptive place. Be in a place of I'm ready to have financial security and stability. I'm ready to receive this new money, this new job. I'm going to put myself in a place to receive that. I'm going to put myself in a place to be open to that. So that's good stuff happening at the beginning of November for you, Aries. You might just need to do some work on clarifying what your dreams, what your creative visions are, what your goals and what you'd like to create, because like I said, that might be bumming you out. And then towards the middle of the month, interesting themes here with the home and with this is 9 of coins, which means it's kind of related to this card, 10 of coins, but 9 of coins is usually money that you have earned yourself, and through self-discipline you have like tucked it away and saved it, or this is sort of like putting yourself in a nice position through hard work, through effort. This card's more about receiving money from others, or, you know, money received from good decisions, good investments. This one's about self-discipline, working hard, tucking that money away. You can see she's sort of sitting pretty. She's got a golden necklace. She's got this turban. She's got this falcon on her arm, which represents, you know, sort of royal sport. She's eating grapes, draped in purple robes. So she's like, I call this card luxury often. However, and it's usually at the work of your own hands that you get yourself here, Aries. However, in the reverse position, it is not experiencing luxury in the way that you would like to, or not feeling disciplined with the way that you have been approaching your money or your assets. And it may have to do with your home. I'm seeing it right here next to 4 of Wands. So this means like not being satisfied with the luxury aspect of your home, or not feeling like you are comfortable or sitting pretty. This card is very much sitting pretty, sitting in a good spot, you know, comfortable sofa, nice wine and grapes and food. Like this is sort of the lap of luxury. When this is in reverse and regarding the home, it's almost like this habits or disciplines that you've had have not been leading you to the home that you want to be in, or this is like trouble in the home. It's possible that it's regarding a relationship in the home. Both of these are in reverse. And could be like dissatisfaction with your own situation financially or in terms of assets. This may be saying like, I don't feel like I'm living in a nice enough spot. That's possible for these two cards, but be careful that you're not having fantasies and visions of wealth that aren't serving you, because it's not, she's in reverse right next to the truth in reverse. This person is not seeing the truth. So if this is you, Aries, if you are kind of being hung up on how you're not wealthy or not living in luxury, be careful with that, because it is spinning she thinks it's the truth. She's in reverse, and so is the truth. This card, Ace of Swords, is about truth. It's the one truth. Swords represent the air element, which represents thoughts, ideas, knowledge. And when you just have one thought, one truth, you can see it's the crowning truth. It's Excalibur. It's the clear light of day. It is I call this card the truth will set you free. So, and this is seeing things as they actually are, being in alignment with the truth. She is, unfortunately, in reverse. Not wanting to see the truth, not wanting to acknowledge that maybe it's her habits, her disciplines that is not allowing her to have the home that she wants, or the situation that she wants, the relationship. So I'm going to raise this question for you, Aries. Is there a way in the middle of the month that you're either not satisfied with the luxuries that you have, that you're dismissing or evading a truth? You know, she's almost kind of, in a funny way, looking at this sword, but they're both in reverse. So it's sort of like saying, well, gosh, an alternate possibility is that she's saying, I've arrived at this place of wealth, but it's not satisfying. What is it that I need to see that I'm not seeing? What is this truth that's evading me? So I'm going to ask you in the middle of November, Aries, to consider, what's your relationship with money like, your home, and something about the truth that you're missing. Is there a truth that you're missing that, you know, maybe money has something to do with it? Either if it's not enough, or, I mean, I'll say it's not, if it's feeling like it's not enough, whether you have lots and it doesn't feel like enough, or you don't have much and you're looking for more, there's some truth that you're missing. And what I'm seeing here with this Page of Cups is that you may need to acknowledge that your heart, your emotional heart, your adolescent heart needs acknowledging. It's possible that this could be a water sign, so this could be a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancer showing up, especially if they're a younger person or act like a younger person. That's Page energy. Or this could be you. This could be your heart and your adolescent self needing attending to. I mean, when Page of Cups shows up, this is infatuation. This is what makes our heart leap. This is something that we're passionate about, something that we're engrossed in and joyful about. And when it's Page, it's our younger self. So this is either someone that's younger around you, more than likely a water sign, and they possibly can help you, excuse me, identify what this truth is. They're looking at it too. And by the way, Aries, there's a graduation here from Page of Cups to King of Cups. So this is the novice regarding the heart. This is the expert. This is, you know, maturity in terms of the heart. So you will have this evolution through November. Once you confront whatever's going on here regarding dissatisfaction with the money that you've brought to yourself and a truth that you may have been avoiding, you know, this person of the heart, whether it's you or another young water sign person around you, may help you discover that. So I'd like you to consider what what made your heart leap as a child, what causes you to be infatuated, what causes your heart to jump, excuse me. What causes you to feel like, yes, I'm passionate about something. Remember, this new moon in Scorpio is about new desires, new passions. So you have to allow that adolescent side of yourself to come out, Aries. It's really going to be helpful for you, and it might help illuminate whatever truth it is that you might have been not seeing, being wrapped up with money concerns. So you may have a choice to make here at the end of November. You might have a lot of glittering options. These are both Cups cards, by the way, and they're actually kind of next to one another. They follow one another. Seven of Cups has to do with making a decision and looking at options clearly to see what it is that you get once you know, this is a card of, sometimes I say what you see is not necessarily what you get. So be careful of that. This is like, I got a lot of Neptune energy. There's fog here. There's a lot of seductive options, you know, fame, wealth, love, castles in the air, power, you know, all these things. And you know, this is the innocent. The Page of Cups is really someone who approaches things from a heart perspective. And with Seven of Cups, it's saying be careful about what you invest your heart in. This can be a card also of seeing things through rose-colored glasses, you know, getting caught up in the fantasy and the drama. This can have a lot of fantasy elements to it. So what I'm going to say is, towards the end of November, Aries, allow yourself to be that adolescent self, participate with your heart, but be careful of what decisions you make, because everything may not be as it seems, or you may want to do some research and see, you know, is this choice that I'm making, you know, is it what it appears to be? Because often this card reminds me of like glittering Las Vegas, like, oh, all these seductive options, but take away the smoke screen and you just see like, you know, the bare bones of the stage, or you see sort of the real hard cold truth of the matter instead of this painted, rosy, seductive picture. So just be aware of that. Just examine your options. This card is the Survivor card. This is Nine of Wands. I call this my Cool Hand Luke card because you keep getting knocked down and you keep getting back up. This could especially be in terms of relationship, Aries. If you are feeling stirrings of emotion, if you want to be passionate and, you know, having that infatuation, but you're noticing like, here's all these choices I've made before and I've always ended up being back at the Survivor. You know, I've always gotten knocked down and then gotten back up. That's why I call it Cool Hand Luke. But this card, you know, there's that Buddhist saying of fall down 7 times, stand up 8. This could have been like every time that you made a decision were kind of tricked, or that things didn't turn out the way that you saw it to be. This ends up being you, which is like battle wound, battle-scarred person, but who survives, but he goes a little bit on the defensive. He becomes a little bit paranoid, thinking like, when is my next battle gonna come? When am I gonna have to choose one of these things again? And is it gonna turn out how I'd hoped? Because I know I've been through a couple battles. I've been through a couple woundings. I don't know if I want to do that again. So he can be a little defensive, a little paranoid. And it can lead to indecision. It can lead to stagnation. So this is a card of like just checking out. Like, well, I don't want to make a decision. Therefore, I'm not going to make anyone. I'm just going to participate in inaction. I'm not going to choose the sword on the left or the sword on the right. I'm just going to blindfold myself and check out and remain here and never make a decision. So that's not really a solution, obviously, Aries. This is like inaction. This is stagnation. This is actually what could be, avoiding the truth of what your heart wants. This could be, when you're not making a decision, when you're checking out, that could be why you're having any difficulties clarifying your dreams or what you want to create. And it's sapping your life force. So I think the way, when you get through this, when you make a decision, which by the way is just taking action, putting down one of the swords, whether it's right or wrong, going with the other one, you actually end up in this place of real fulfillment with your heart. King of Cups is like the perfect partner. So this is like the perfect husband, the perfect father, the emotionally stable man, the person who is compassionate and who operates from the heart. This is a real maturity from this Page of Cups. So if this is representing you, Aries, these, potentially could be water sign people. So this could be like a father and a child, both, either of them being Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Those are both possibilities here. But this could represent your heart self, Aries. And you go from this place of allowing your heart to feel emotion, to feel that infatuation as you did when you were a teenager, to feel being that passionate and that caught up in something, evaluating your options, really looking at them in the eye and realizing that it might not always have to be the same, of like choosing a glittering option, having it fall apart, having to be the survivor, and ending up in a place of like, I don't want to make a choice because I know I'm just going to end up here again. If you can get past that cycle, mature through that cycle, Aries, guess what's waiting here on the other side? King of Cups. This is the perfect husband, the emotionally centered man, the perfect partner. If you're male, this could be you. So being centered, being mature, being the man that you always wanted to be, or, for whomever you are. I can't say, male or female, whether you're attracted to males or attracted to females. This could be you or the other. And this is the emotionally stable person, the emotionally stable partner, the compassionate partner, the mature expert of the heart. So I see a real graduation in maturity here in November for you, Aries. See if you can like break this cycle. I think you're going to really have to just confront some sort of truth, maybe especially related to established, this is like inheritance. This is the married couple behind the wall. This is, or the committed couple behind the wall. This is the family. There may be something about that you've been resisting a truth about, Aries, and consequently it is causing you to stagnate. But you don't I do see that you arrive here.